Joining us now is the Executive Director of Yad Exra Food Bank here in the Metro Detroit area, Daniella Mechnikov, joins us now on the MegaCast. Daniella, thank you for being with us. Appreciate having you on. It seems you may be muted.
No, I'm not. Hi.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
A pleasure having you on. So first off, let's begin. For those that are unfamiliar with Yad Exra's work in the community, tell us about the organization and how it serves our local area.
Certainly. Yad Exra is a kosher food pantry that has been active in the community for 32 years. It is also an emergency food pantry. So we serve a primary function of offering a source of food for those who are food insecure in the Jewish community who have dietary restrictions that limit their ability to access food at other pantries because they have to only have kosher food. And in addition, we are an emergency food pantry for anybody who's in emergent need of food. They can come at least one time to receive a distribution of groceries, and then we refer them to sister agencies that don't abide by the rules of just the kosher foods.
We're joined by Executive Director of Yad Exra Food Bank, Daniella Mechnikov, on the MegaCast. And speaking about food insecurity in our local area, just how prevalent is it in the Jewish community in southeastern Michigan, but also in the general community in southeastern Michigan also?
Well, there are a lot of statistics about food insecurity, and interestingly, I was having a conversation with a colleague about this yesterday. In the first world countries, there's a pretty standard kind of trajectory and rate. So we typically estimate that 1 in 20 people has problems with food insecurity. And I like to say that it's not a statistic that skips communities. So cultural, racial, religious, whatever the community definer isn't something that precludes someone from being food insecure. Socioeconomic issues come into play, obviously, but we have the same statistic in the Jewish community that any other community has.
And so there are many ways that your organization is able to help address these issues, of course, providing food to those in the community, as well as having a food bank on site at your building also over there in Berkeley. And but there are other ways that the community can support your organization beyond just those simple donations of food items or monetary donations. What are some other ways that people can get involved in being on the front lines addressing food insecurity here in southeastern Michigan?
That's a good question. It is essential for us to have feet on the ground. Volunteerism is one of the linchpins of a successful food pantry, and we are certainly no exception. We could not function without a huge number of dedicated volunteers. So, for example, in the last 2 years, because of the pandemic, we did not have clients coming into the food pantry to shop and choose their foods. We delivered food exclusively to our clients' homes. Well, we used volunteer drivers in large numbers to achieve that goal. So we had signups and volunteers who come. In fact, right now there are volunteers driving, doing deliveries because it was 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday, and we're still doing it to 1,200 families every month. They get a delivery of food. We did have partnership with the Jewish Federation of Metropolitan Detroit and Jewish Family Services, which has a transportation department. They were a tremendous partner throughout the pandemic and helped us deliver to about 50% of our clients, largely in the apartment buildings and in the senior apartments, because they could take a bulk delivery in their vans. But otherwise, that was a role of volunteers. Additionally, we always need volunteers to help pack the groceries in our warehouse. So during the pandemic, we had a very limited number of volunteers who would come and work with David Jaffe, our director of operations, to pre-pack the non-perishables, and then in the mornings pack the perishable foods that we would send out to clients. And then in March, we plan to bring clients back to the warehouse. So the need for in-warehouse assistance to help load the groceries into individual client vehicles, all of that is something that volunteers will do. We also have a greenhouse and a farming program called Giving Gardens. And Giving Gardens is another part of Yad Exra that really heavily relies on volunteers. Currently in the winter months, there's less of a need for volunteers in Giving Gardens because there's less growing and planting and harvesting, but we're just getting ready to ramp up with planting seedlings, transplants, getting the farm ready, etc. So there's always an opportunity for volunteers to come and work in the Giving Gardens as well. So the volunteer opportunities will be planting and harvesting and helping with education in the greenhouse and the farm. We'll have client intake opportunities for volunteers who want to help check clients in when they arrive to pick up their groceries. We'll have warehouse opportunities for people to help pack and load groceries for clients. And we still have about a quarter to a third of our clients that we anticipate needing to remain on our delivery list because their health is failing after COVID, or they're just not ready to come, or something else has happened that requires them to continue to receive deliveries.
More information on their website at yadezra.org. That is YADEZRA.org, yadezra.org. We're joined by Daniella Mechnikov, the Executive Director of Yad Exra Food Bank, on the MegaCast. And so, Daniella, if people are in need of some of these resources, if they are in a situation of food insecurity, how can they access these resources and get help from your organization?
We have a very easy system to help people who need food. First of all, they can always go to our website, as you mentioned, yadezra.org, YADEZRA.org. At the very top of the website, it says "Need Help?" ? And if you click on the Need Help link, it opens a page that gives you two options. One is a downloadable PDF that you can fill out. It's a very simple application, which you can email or fax or drop off to Yad Exra. We also have a box outside of the building with applications and a deposit box, as well as at that Need Help link, there's an online application, which if you fill out, your application automatically comes to us, and then someone will call you back to set up an appointment to come and pick up or get a delivery of groceries. You can also always call if you are in dire need of food. We try our best to make sure that nobody who calls has to wait very long to get food.
Danielle, just another minute or so with you before we'll need to say goodbye today. Anything else that would be important for our audience to know about either the services that they can receive from Yad Exra or opportunities for volunteerism or support of the organization?
Well, I think we covered a lot of the volunteerism. I don't want to bore your listeners by going through the list again. But I'm very excited about the fact that as of March 1st, our food pantry will be bringing clients back to the building. So what I want people to know is that we welcome them to come. We have the resources to help people who are in need, and we would love to share it. We have stuff to help people with babies. We have needs for infants that we can help with. We are also being very careful, even though the pandemic is waning. We still will limit the number of people in the building at a time. We have an ionizer that helps keep our air clean. We'll be sanitizing everything from shopping carts to pens and clipboards in between client sessions. And everybody who's in the building will be masked just to protect the more vulnerable who are either volunteering or coming to pick up food. So I think that should make people feel comfortable to come and get what they need to help them out.
Daniella, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.